Joe Biden leads a tighter top tier in Iowa poll. Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden leads as the top choice of likely participants in the first in the nation Iowa Democratic caucuses, but his advantage there is smaller than the one he has held in recent national polling, even as just 5 candidates out of a field of 23 crack 5% support. A new CNN/Des Moines Register/Mediacom poll conducted by Seltzer & Co. finds Biden leads among both those who plan to participate in the caucuses the traditional, in-person way, or via a new process for caucusing virtually. Overall, 24% say they favor the former vice president, with 16% backing Vermont senior. Bernie Sanders, Biden has regularly been above 30% in national polling since announcing his candidacy in April, with his nearest competitor trailing by double digits. But there hasn't been. Most of the historically large field will be at a major Democratic Party fundraiser in Cedar Rapids, but Biden will not be among them because of family obligations. He's expected to. The Iowa poll results according to the delegate allocation rules the Iowa Democratic Party has submitted to the Democratic National Committee. Behind the top 5, support drops precipitously. 2 candidates: former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke and Minnesota senior Amy Klobuchar. The poll is the first from CNN and the Des Moines Register since the Iowa Democratic Party formally proposed rules for its new virtual caucus. The rules allocate, according to the poll, 28% of those who say they are definitely or probably going to participate at this point say they are likely to do so virtually. Although Biden fares, but those rules could bring a slew of new people to the caucuses next February. Those who say they are, beyond Biden's lower overall support, the poll also suggests some warning signs for him beneath those numbers. His supporters are. The closer contest in Iowa also suggests a steeper challenge for 2016 runner-up Sanders than he faces elsewhere. In most national, the results are also notable for the lack of traction by most of the 23-candidate field-tested Indiana. The poll. The survey asked, among likely in-person caucus goers, only 5 candidates were in active consideration by a majority: Biden 61%, Warren 61%, Sanders 56%, Buttigieg 52% and Harris 52%. The next closest. What's notable among both likely in-person and likely virtual caucus goers is just how few are even considering some of the lower-tier candidates. 13 of the 20, outside of candidate preferences, about 2/3 of likely caucus goers, regardless of how they plan to participate, say they would prefer that the winner in Iowa be someone with a strong chance of beating Trump over a candidate who shares their views on major issues. But when asked to choose among desirable qualities in a candidate, electability ranked 4th on a list of 7 for both sets of possible caucus participants. A majority in likely Iowa caucus goers are divided over how Democrats in Congress ought to handle the possibility of impeachment proceedings for Trump. About half of likely Iowa caucus goers, 48%, regardless of how they plan to participate, say they think Democrats in Congress ought to continue investigating the president rather than move forward on formal impeachment proceedings now. Slightly fewer. The CNN/Des Moines Register/Mediacom poll was conducted by Seltzer & Co. of Des Moines, Iowa, from June 2 through 5 among a random sample of 600 likely Democratic caucus participants reached on landlines or cell phones by a live interviewer. The sample included
raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.